I use a screen like this one to end my YouTube videos. I used to have my video editor create this during the edit, but now I just include while recording. Build it out in Canva with a transparent section on the left for my camera, add a placeholder of the video I'm recommending and the subscribe icon, then also include my words, how it all works, and my logo. In this video, I'll show you how to build out this same design for yourself using Canva, and we're gonna add it to StreamYard, Restream, and Evmux. This is how it all works, family. Let's leverage video naturally. All right, so here we are on my desktop looking at Canva. And so first thing we want to do, of course, is to open a new design, and you do that right here by hitting the create button. We do want this to be presentation size, so that 1920 by 1080 is fine. I'm going to click on that. That gives us a blank canvas for us to be able to work with. Then we can actually come up here and name it and screen design. All right, we got that there now as well. First thing we want to do is, of course, make your canvas the color that you want it. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to choose black just so that I know the black is what's going to be there. Then we want to go into elements and we want to see shapes. I want to go to shapes and I'm going to pick the square, right? Because the square is necessary. I want to definitely have that there. I always try to find where the middle is. That's where the middle is. And we want to come back a little bit. And then we want a triangle. Get a triangle, want them both to be the same size, the same color, I should say. Then we want to make sure that triangle goes from top to bottom and just slide that over. We're almost done. If you can see it, you can probably tell we're almost done. Now, you can tell here at the top, you don't have much space. So I'm going to actually shift this over some so that you have a little bit more space at the top for your head. So that's what that's going to look like. You have a little bit more space there. Boom. Now we need another square. I'm going to use this. We're going to change this color to white. And we're going to put this here. We're going to change this line so we can line it up with this, this angle that we have selected here. And we want to make it take up the whole space. Now you can see that it's a little off right there, right? So we want to make it take up the whole, want it to be aligned with the triangle angle that we've used. So now you can see what that looks like. It's still a little wide. So now to bring that in, starting to look familiar, isn't it? All right. So we got that in there, have that set. I'm going to take these three items, right? Take all three of these items and group it. We'll group that thing so that it doesn't move anywhere. Next thing we want to do is be able to have a frame. So I'm going to go back to elements and frame. Frame circle is what I want. And we can use any of these. Let's go to see all. You can use any of these. I do like to use one that has a little bit of a border. So we'll just use this one. Let's see if this one will allow us to do it. Get that in there. You can see what that looks like. And let's go to my assets. Let's go to, so you would have to have uploaded your logo. Hopefully you have that. So I'm going to pull this in here. You can see, boom, they've got my how it all works logo. So I've just used the circle to do that. If you hit the T icon, the letter T on your keyboard, it gives you some text. And so here I'm going to put watch this next. Now we're going to highlight that thing, make them all caps, make it bold. And then we do want to make it a little bit bigger. So this is going to go up top here, above the line, the image that you saw in the example. I'm going to take this and change it. We click on the spacing, click on letter spacing. We want that to be just a little bit wider so it stretches out there a little bit. And then we also want to have another circle that has the subscribe in it. So let's take this, Control C, Control V, and let's move this down here and put subscribe. So we have subscribe here now, and we want to get another element. Let's get elements again, and we want to have another circle. So we'll have two circles, and then we also want to have a finger, right? So let's go to finger, pointing finger. So we just put in pointing finger. Look at that. We got one right here. We'll pull that down, put that to the side, line that up with subscribe, and make this a little smaller and line this up as well. And just go back to your assets, whatever you have already set up for that you've uploaded into the system. There you have my picture. I want to make that a little bit smaller, and whatever you have, whatever is in that circle that you can see, that's what will be selected. And we have that there. We have this here. Let's change this color to purple on the outside, or we could put white, whatever. That's just going to be the border there. And then lastly, we would put a picture of whatever whatever the next video is that you're advertising. Remember, this is the end screen, and you want to be able to have this in the place where your video will go. So this is where your video will go. This is where your subscribe will go. This is where it's just my logo. This is personal preference. It doesn't necessarily have to be there like this. Watch this next is on the screen. Maybe you want to change that font, however you want to do it, but we are essentially done. The last thing to do is to take this and say, go to share, go to download, go to PNG. You want to make sure you select PNG, and then you also want to make sure you select transparent 1920 by 1080, and then you hit download. That file is ready to go. Now over in StreamYard, I've got a blank canvas here, and if I add my camera, if I add my camera in this scene, you'll see that it just adds the camera just like that. This is not going to work for this particular thing. So if I add my end screen, you see that's what that'll look like, and that doesn't necessarily work. So what you want to do is create a design. And so I'm going to go here to where we have one design already created, hit the edit button so you can see this is me just creating a design. It's good to actually put this over it so you can actually see what size do I need to make my camera for it to fit underneath that overlay. Once you have that right, you can save it, update layout. Now you have the end screen, and you can just select this scene whenever you want to be able to end out your video if you're recording, or even if you're in a live show. Just know that you'll have to go back in after the fact and put the end screen template on your video. So here we are in Evmux, and you can see we're on a dynamic scene. Nothing has been designed here. What we do want, however, is a pro scene, because in pro scenes, you can actually decide what the layers are. So if we go to layers, you can see that I have my camera here. And if I click on that, again, just like in StreamYard, I can actually, let's go back here. We have this, we can actually grab this dot on the side and adjust where that camera sits. And so here, I think it'll fit right around here. And then you make sure that the end screen is above it, and you lock them both in place. And that scene is ready to go. Anytime you click on that scene, you have that design already set up and ready to go. So I'll click back on that scene, it's ready to go. I can end out my video just like that. Similarly, over here in Restream, I'm on this scene, but if you select a scene where you already have your camera in two, right? So we're just using the standard layout. We have it in two, in the two-person cropped layout. Then we just add that overlay in there, and you're pretty much ready to go. Lastly, as I mentioned before, you do want to go in when you're setting up your end screen. You want to select this template that has these two. You have them here, and you can actually decide, right, where this, you see how I'm just using this to cover that square, that placeholder, and I'm also using this subscribe to cover the picture. And I'm just putting it right there so that my subscribe words and the finger pointing is pointing to that subscribe button. And when somebody decides to use it, they're actually using the right thing. we showcase briefly several content platforms great for leveraging video naturally. In this playlist right here, I do a crash course on several of them: Ecamm, StreamYard, Evmux, even Loopback. Click right here to watch, and I'll see you over there. Does this screen look familiar to you? Grace and peace, fam.